Okay, now I present a video with about ursolic acid, and the text was prepared with the use of artificial intelligence chatbots. So let's see how it will work. I hope I did this video in hopes that it will be simple to read. It has no references to the source of information, but it is like prepared maybe better to understand. Okay, let's go. So you see ursolic acid. Why we use ursolic acid? Because ursolic acid is available as supplement, and so this I ordered it in China already 3 weeks ago, and delivery scheduled to the middle of March. So it's very long delivery time. They are not yet shipping it, so it is like they are getting orders, and then they produce this ursolic acid. So it is due to very bad situation in economy of China, they don't keep products available. They produce as many according to the orders. So, and I only hope that I will get not the fake product, because again, situation is so bad in China that, for example, when I order physitin and melatonin in China, I am getting fake products, or order is cancelled. Okay, let's go. So, ursolic acid is a natural pentacyclic triterpenoid found in high concentration in apple peels, rosemary, holy basil, and cranberries. While it has been a staple in traditional Chinese medicine for centuries, modern biohackers and researchers are particularly interested in its ability to influence body recomposition, simultaneously building muscles while burning fat. Recent studies show that ursolic acid may help treat chronic illnesses like cancer, metabolic problems, and liver diseases. Ursolic acid is a potent vasodilator, promoting the release of nitric oxide from the endothelium of the blood vessels to improve vascular function and to reduce high blood pressure and resting heart rate. Okay, so, and the primary health benefits associated with supplementation of ursolic acid are following. Okay, so it is, the order is somehow confused. Okay, first, muscle growth and protection against atrophy of muscles. One of the most studied effects of ursolic acid in its ability to combat muscle wasting, atrophy, including age-related sarcopenia. Key mechanism: activation of mTOR, stimulates the mTOR mammalian target on rapamycin, which is a central regulator of muscle protein synthesis, and also IGF-1 signaling enhancement, increases insulin-like growth factor 1, supporting muscle repair and growth. Downregulates genes associated with muscle breakdown, while upregulating those involved in growth. Okay, so again, pardon, sorry. Okay, so it is again no references, but in many it is just summary of many publications, and many review publications have this mechanism, and so it is. You can read my previous presentation and get to the source of information. So potential benefit: increases lean muscle mass, reduces muscle wasting, support for body recomposition. It is building muscles while removing fat. Okay, second, it is fat loss and thermogenesis. Ursolic acid has attached attention for its potential role in improving body composition through thermogenetic mechanism. So key mechanism, it is browning of white fat, may promote conversion of white adipose tissue, which is energy storing fat, into brown adipose tissue, which burns energy to produce heat. And the activation of UCP1, it stimulates protein involved in thermogenesis, increases skeletal muscle mass. Higher muscle mass raises resting metabolic rate. Potential benefit in reduced body fat and higher resting metabolic rate, improves metabolic flexibility. So it is probably the most useful. Pardon, my house near the road and people are sometimes make noise. Okay, so it is again, it has this properties that increase number of mitochondria in fat tissues, in fat cells, in adipose cells, and then so it is better burning fat. Okay, metabolic health and insulin sensitivity. Ursolic acid appears to influence glucose metabolism and insulin signaling. So key mechanism that increases glucose uptake to muscle cells. Okay, for people who are on ketogenic diet, it's probably not so important, but okay, this at least for the rest of the population it works. Improved insulin signaling enhances insulin sensitivity in all cells. This is good, of course. Enzyme, so because level of glucose is keeping steady. Enzyme modulation may inhibit pathways contributing to elevated blood sugar. So it's again, so together with improved insulin signaling, it keeps blood sugar under control. Potential benefits, better blood glucose regulation, improved insulin sensitivity, potential support for metabolic syndrome, and early development type 2 diabetes. Okay, so prevents development of the diabetes. Anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effect. Beyond body composition, ursolic acid exhibits systemic anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. And the key mechanism is suppresses inflammatory signaling pathways, mostly from senescent cells. Oxidative stress reduction protects cells from free radical damage. Autophagy modulation may support cellular cleanup process associated with longevity. So benefits are reduce chronic inflammation, low oxidative stress, possible support for healthy aging. It is related to suppression activity of senescent cells. Cardiovascular support. Preliminary evidence suggests potential heart health benefits and possible effects. Improved lipid profile, reduced LDL cholesterol level, which is, I know, it's not important for people in ketosis, but level of triglycerides reduced. This is good because triglycerides are produced by adipose tissue, and the level, if this level drops, it is actually good. Protection of vascular endothelium. This is absolutely important. Reduced risk factors associated with atherosclerosis, reduced blood pressure and resting heart rate. Yeah, okay, it's moreover confirmed that heart rate is dropping and blood pressure dropping, so all blood circulation is improving with this supplement. So skin health and collagen production. Ursolic acid is also widely used in cosmetic formulations. So key mechanism stimulates collagen synthesis, enhances keramide production, promotes keratinocyte differentiation, and it improves skin elasticity because of more collagen production, reduce appearance of fine lines, enhanced blood circulation. Okay, so I will go to this number 7. So key considerations: bioavailability. Ursolic acid has poor oral bioavailability. It is fat soluble and not easily absorbed when taken as a plain powder. So better to take it with some dietary fats. And also formulation can be include some lipids. So cyclodextrin complex delivery system. Okay, these people try to increase this bioavailability, but the most easy way, if you can afford it, is just increase the dosage. So what problem? Limited human data. While animal studies are promising, large-scale human clinical trials remain limited because the research started relatively recently. So effects observed in rodents might not fully translate to humans. Okay, dietary sources versus supplemental doses. Also, apple peels contain ursolic acid, achieving the dosages used in research up to 450 milligram will be in practically large amount of food. Like, for example, one would consume dozens of apples daily to approach experimental doses, even 150 milligrams. So it is again, so the problem that this ursolic acid better be consumed as supplement. Okay, again, summary. So again, we can see a summary in this table, so maybe it is easier to see. And final perspective, ursolic acid is a promising bioactive compound with potential benefits for muscle preservation, fat metabolism, insulin sensitivity, inflammation control, cardiovascular health, and skin aging. However, most evidence is still preliminary, and bioavailability remains a significant limitation. Most miracle results for ursolic acid came from rodent studies using doses 1.4 gram or up to 3 gram for a human 70 kilo weight. Most commercial supplements and human trials used much lower doses from 150 to 450 milligram, and no severe adverse effects were observed at 300 milligram per day, although long-term data are missing, lacking. It is best if ursolic acid is viewed not as a miracle compound, but a potentially useful adjunct within broader strategy to improve, together with resistance training and also aerobic exercise, proper nutrition, sleep, and metabolic health management. Okay, so I ordered it. I cannot share my experience with it, but again, as it is available as supplement and it's relatively low doses, so it's relatively expensive. I ordered it. It's relatively expensive, much higher prices than compared to berberine, for example. But let's see how it works. Instead, I am using now gotu-kola powder. Gotu-kola as powder. It is available here in Thailand for very low price. It is like less than $4 American per kilo with delivery. So, and quality is good. I started to use it already for a few days, and I would say I need more time to summarize the impact. But first observation gave me that it is I sleep better and longer, up to 9 hours at night, especially, and so it helps me to recover after a day of exercises. When I go and I cycling more than 80 kilometers per day, and it is hot season is coming, and it is really not easy to cycle, so I'm losing a lot of water, 2-3 liters of water. I drink 2-3 liters of water, hot milk after the exercises to recover, so it is really not easy. But if I do it and I'm tired, I'm coming tired, but then this consumption of gotokola helps me to recover, to sleep better, longer, and also what I hope why I started to use it, and maybe ursolic acid will work the same, because the bioactive component of this ursolic acid has almost the same structure. It is in gotokola, it is Asiatic acid, this ursolic acid, but they are very, very similar in structure and also in action. So, and I believe that again, consider that it is very popular in Chinese medicine, and there are evidence that people consuming regular gotokola or such maybe supplements with the same structure can live much longer, up to 200 years. So it certainly can be used for longevity, even without change of your diet, but together with change of the diet and other supplements, it will be even better. But again, and gotokola in Thailand very, very cheap. As I said, $4 American per kilo. It's good quality. I just wondering. My mistake in past was that I used gotokola powder since year 1921, so a long time already. But I used it as powder and to make water extract of this powder. And I didn't know, and I discovered only recently, that this Asiatic acid does not dissolve in water, so it is, and this is the main ingredient which is good for health. Now I start to use powder, and then it is working much better. Certainly I see improvement. And so what is my idea now? I will pay more attention to this Chinese medicine, traditional Chinese medicine. I will try to replace part of the starch, of raw starch powder, with powder of gotokola and powder of other Chinese medicine, like mushrooms, some mushrooms and some roots. So I cannot say about mushrooms and roots, but at least what was the problem with raw starch? Raw starch is not completely resistant starch. So only 65% of starch is resistant, and the rest can be consumed and converted to glucose in the small intestine. And then this glucose goes to adipose tissue, and I certainly observed increase in my weight and the thickness of the subcutaneous fat on the skin, and so on legs, not on my belly, on legs. And then it is such subcutaneous fat is considered not dangerous. It is relatively healthy. But I'm not happy with this. I just am not happy with this, and I hope with gotokola I will, and with this supplement, ursolic acid, I will remove this fat, and so I will look better, a little bit better. Let's see. But again, what I see now, that consumption of gotokola powder, I observe some better blood pressure. So I measure my biological age, and as I consider that my biological age of my cardiovascular system is the best indicator. And quite recently I started to see that my blood pressure and such is that the pulse pressure difference between systolic and diastolic pressure dropped below 40. It is now about 39, 38. So it is not as good as it was 1.5 years before injection of this vaccine. Unfortunately, I made this vaccine, and my pulse pressure went up to 55 or even maybe 60. I was in depression, and also energy and ability, endurance dropped. It is also indication that biological age can be measured with pulse pressure. But now I am recovering, and before I started to use this Gotokola, it was 41, 42, the pulse pressure. Now I see more like 38, 39, someday maybe 40. And resting heart rate 50, in the range of 48 to 51. So my goal is to get these parameters to what I had at a younger age, at the age of 18. At the age of 18, my pulse pressure was below 30, which indicates very good elasticity of the big arteries. And also my resting heart rate was below 40, also indicates good health. So I hope it will take long, of course, but I will recover to the biological age of my young age. Okay, so again, I consider this is very interesting idea to consume Gotokola or this Asiatic acid, unfortunately not available. In research, people make the extract with 70% of alcohol from this Gotokola powder and to extract Asiatic acid and use it in experiments, but it is quite... But again, Gotokola has not only fat and alcohol soluble ingredients like azatic acid, it has some other useful ingredients, and so this is why 70% alcohol solution works better. So it is extracting both the fat soluble component and also the components which can be dissolved in water. So it is working the best. So, but much easier to consume a lot of powder of Gotokola. And as I said, I tried to replace raw potato starch with Gotokola. And because, again, as I said, raw potato starch, unfortunately, or raw starch, unfortunately, if you consume a lot, and it leads to accumulation of some fat, not bad fat, but yet it is some fat. And also for people who are not adapted to the consumption of this raw starch, it can lead to bloating and farting, and so people don't like it. And okay, again, if you use anything, goes first at small dosages and increase and see if there are some side effects. Reduce consumption of this ingredient as always. But again, this I see suddenly I was thinking it's already done all the research. Suddenly I discovered that there are some Chinese medicine which probably can help, like astragalus roots. I have to check the literature about this, but again, some people claim that consumption of 30 grams of astragalus root, but for years, resulted in rejuvenation. But how they measured, and it was not reliable. Okay, so thank you for watching this video, and I share my personal opinion again on rejuvenation. My personal opinion that we are aging because of increased stiffness of our body and reduced blood delivery to tissues, and then